Hi everybody, welcome to Pilates Express, where you can get a whole body workout in 30 minutes or less. Today with the resistance band is our tool. I'm using a green, you could have an orange, a blue, a red, any of those will work. You may just know that one, they just have different levels of intensity. Okay, we're gonna start out in a C curve and we're gonna bring our feet parallel. Always working to draw the abdominals away from the hip flexors, and I'm going to double my band just to give myself a little resistance in my upper body, in my core. Sit up tall, take an inhale, and as you exhale, blow out that air like you're fogging a mirror, and exhale, scoop back, pressing your big toes in to help you stabilize in the back of your hip. Inhale and exhale, scoop, 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 make a shape like a capital C and come up tall. Inhale again, exhale, rolling down. We're going to do 5 to 8 of each of these series. You could do up to 10, but no more than that, because the whole point of Pilates is you do things really well and then you move on to a different set of exercises. Pulling the abs in, trying to keep both hips level and my shoulders nice and soft. Inhale again, exhale, scoop, reach. Now I'm going to get a little fancy here. I'm going to bring the arms up while holding those core muscles in. You should see your t-shirt wrinkle. That's what teachers always see when they're looking to see if you're charged up in those abs. People think we have eyes in the back of the head. We just know where to look. Bring it up, inhale, and exhale. Scoop, 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 scoop. Don't let those ribs flare as you come back up. Now, I'm going to bring it behind my head and just do a couple of a hinge movement here. The band behind my head is just to keep me from trying to tense my neck and shoulders. I'm going to pull in. I shouldn't go quite as far back. I just want to make sure that I'm not letting my upper back get there before the rest of my body. Here, I really need to focus on closing my front ribs so that I don't splay as I come back up. So just notice these are two different shapes. One is a curve, one is what we call a flat back. Going back to the curve, I like that one. And we're going to work on our obliques. Again, we go back, big toes pressing down, inhale, exhale, coming back. Now find a place that you can maintain, no movement. I'm going to pull that band over to the right side, almost like I'm pulling an oar through water. Notice that my top arm is staying very stable and I'm scooping, pulling the obliques and lats into submission. Now I'm going to come to the other side, digging it down. Pull the abs in with every effort and keep your opposite hip down so that you don't get your low back in trouble. If you do, come back, pause, and rejoin us when you can. Coming back up, sit up tall, take a little break because we got another set. Here we go, inhale, exhale, scoop, find the place you can maintain, and down to the right side for 8, 7, scoop. Good, 4, 3, 2, 1, reversing, going to the left side. Keep those shoulders plugging down so you don't have any tension up in the neck. Let's take 3, I never can count all the way, and back to center, sit up tall, adjust your pacing if mine is too fast or too quick or too slow for you. All right, here we go, one more. Now we're going to alternate, right? So as we come down to the C curve, we're going to dig deep on the right, dig on the left. Just know that whatever side you're coming to, that opposite hip bone has to be stable and your low belly activates every time you pull around to keep your low back safe. Yeah, great job. Let's call it 2 and left and 1 and left and all the way back. Feeling that. All right, from here, I'm just going to do a little bit of a lat pull. Lats, which kind of run under here, great muscle group that a lot of us don't activate very effectively, particularly women. So I'm taking my arms a little wider than my shoulder, almost like I'm following a flock of geese in their direction, right? And just feeling that my scapular muscles draw down as I'm trying to really reinforce the muscles around the ribs. Yeah, and I'm pulling this apart. Notice that my pinky is kind of leading that effort. That's going to signal your lats. We'll go 2 more. And back we go. Okay, I'm going to come forward just a little bit. Now, many of us have trouble with roll-up. So I'm going to give the bands around my feet. What is a roll-up? It's articulation. In Pilates, we're trying to decompress the spine and feel the fluidity of the spine. So with the feet in this, you have to reinforce the flexion, and that helps you pick up your glutes. So take your time, really peeling your body off one bone at a time, like it's cookie dough coming off of a pan. There's the scoop again, do you see it? But notice how with my feet pressing down and into the resistance band, I'm not as tempted to use my hip flexors to pop myself up. Right? If you're not able to do that, you could do it from a bent position. Yeah, so giving yourself a little bit of a modification there. Or you could start out with a straight leg and then halfway up, really feel like those heels are dragging in towards your glutes and helping you control that. Okay? From here, I'm going to take my leg into single leg circles. Now, I want to find a neutral spine. What is that? Small space under the low back that keeps me from compressing, but also helps me keep my pelvis stable so I know my abs are working. My left foot can be bent here, or it can be straight if I can maintain pelvic stability. I'm going to do 8 in each direction, and we want to make the circles only as big as we can keep the pelvis stable. Inhale at the top, exhale, draw the abs in, circle around. With that opposite leg, I'm pressing down, feeling the back channel of my body reinforce my stability. Every time I come back to the top, I pause, reclaim my abs so that it's never about momentum, it's always control. Exhale, down, around, and up, pause, and come back to center, we reverse it. Down, around, and up. Now, you can do these crisply, more fast, as long as you're pausing, getting those abs to fire, so that it's not just spinning your leg, it's working your core. It's one of those Pilates exercises that has kind of a weird name. It's really about your abs. Then I'm going to cross it over the midline because it's such a great IT band stretch. The more you pull your toes to your head, the more you'll intensify that. Switch it out. Going to the left side now. Right leg is long, or it could be bent here. Now, I'm going to go 8 in each direction. I have a lot of pelvic instability on my right side. I'm a little bit hiked in that hip, so I know this about my body, and so I'm changing how I do the circle on this side. I'm going a little bit longer and then wide because I know that I can maintain my pelvic core connection without slipping it up. You may make some adjustments as well. Now reverse, down, around, and up. As I go away from the center of the body, it gets more challenging, right? So again, those circles don't have to be big, they don't have to be low, they just have to be controlled. And 2, keep your breath flowing. Now I'm going to run out of space over here because of the wall, but we're just going to do that IT stretch over there. All right. I'm going to bring both feet into the strap. And this exercise is called a frog, and it's similar to what we do on the reformer a lot with our legs in straps. I'm going to bring Pilates first position, trying to keep my tailbone down, my abs up and in. Knees are bent at a right angle. I inhale and exhale. As I press out, I'm toning my core like crazy. Now, where I end up with my feet is, again, directly in line with where my control is. Notice that I'm not just stretching the legs out like that. I'm trying to use the band to activate my glutes along with my abs. If that's too low for you to maintain, go a little higher, right? You'll still get a good effect and protect your back. Now, a straight leg is much heavier than a bent leg. So as I start to come up, stretch my hamstrings here, I may not go as low because I don't want to arch my back. Find that sweet spot for yourself, tightening your abs as you come back up. Inhale, exhale. Good, and we'll find, where's that place where you can just work with precision? And I'll call it one more time. Good, and then from here I'm going to go into corkscrew. Now, you want to make sure, again, you've got that neutral spine. Do not let your butt off of the mat. And you're going to drift to the right on the inhale and exhale, come back around. It's a small circle. It's a controlled circle. And as we've been talking about, it's only as big as your pelvis cannot do its little Elvis dance. We'll do one more. Inhale, exhale on the effort, bring it back. Inhale, and exhale. Good. Okay, now you could keep your head down on all of these exercises. What I want to reinforce here is options, okay? So if my head is down here and I try to do some of these exercises, it's a different experience if then I come up to what we call a chest lift. So I want you to feel how the band can kind of assist you in determining that. I want my tailbone to be heavy, and I'm going to roll it back. I'm going to inhale and exhale. Curl up, find that nice connection for my rectus abdominis. It's as if I'm holding a peach under my chin, right? And coming back down. I'm going to do that a couple of times because I'm setting myself up for hundreds. Now hundreds is called that because it's 10 sets of movements of arms and core. And 10 movements. Here we go. You could keep your head down if that feels stressful. I want my arms to be active throughout and my abs come on the second 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale, hollowing my abs. 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Stay long, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Arms pump, 2, 3, 4, 5, deep abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 40, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Keep lengthening, keep toning. Now 60, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Head down if you need, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Stay strong, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. I think I might have added one, but let's just do 20 more. And exhale, one more. And release. Roll your head side to side. It's just tough. Alrighty, now, double leg stretch. It's a great exercise here. The key thing of this is you can't drop your head back as you bring your arms and legs out. Find your neutral, drop the tailbone. Inhale, arms and legs, reach out. Exhale, I find the center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, coming back. Let's do 6. Yeah, and you could have your legs go a little higher if that's where you need to maintain it. Draw those abs in. Let's do 3 and back. Trying to hold my head in line. And last one. And stretch. Pretty good. All right, now we're going to move the body in all planes here. So now, little extension. I could use the band, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to show you how to do a little bit of a swan crap. Notice that my legs are slightly externally rotated. So important when you're doing prone exercises is that your pubic bone or your tops of your pelvis press down there to help you lengthen your back and not arch, and to draw your abs up and in so you're not pooching. My fingertips are going to be lining up about eye level. I'm going to inhale and start to lift, articulating into my upper back. Head comes last, and then I roll back down. So what would it be doing it incorrectly? This, which I see a lot. Don't worry about the head. It's going to come up. Press the tops of your thighs down, belly up, and draw your fingertips towards your hips. We just want to get this position for the body because we spend so much time in flexion. And draw it back and in. Okay, now we're going to work the butt a little bit. I could use the band, but again, just modifying for this. I'm going to rest my forehead down here, but the key things apply. Pelvis down, belly up before I do any movement, all right? So we're going to pull the abs up and lift. Tiny, tiny, right? Work your butt. That's what you should be feeling here. Your glute maximus, your hamstring. If you feel this in your low back, sit it out until you can able to get your core to fire responsibly. Now I'm going to stretch the legs out. I'm going to point out, flex in. It's almost like I've got a little fish fin here. Pull it in. Abs up, feet in, right? I'm really more interested in how long I am than how high my legs are off the mat. Now let's put them together. I'm going to press up, push out, open, close, and back in. 4 more. Up, out, wide, together. 3 more. Up, out, wide, together. Pull those abs up and in. Stretch them out. Point, flex, and back. Last one. Here we go. Stretch out, open, close, and release. Nice thing to do after that. Maybe sit back into a little child's pose. because we still got more. All right, now doing some sideline legs. So many options here. I'll show you one set with the band on, and then maybe we'll do one without. So you could be down here, lying your head down, stacking your hips, making sure that you've got an activation of your low belly here throughout. If you want a little bit more challenge, you could come up here. Just don't let your ribs or your sideways sag there. You have to hold it up like that. Okay, so I'm gonna put the band around, making sure I've got equal tail, cross it over, and make sure I've got it nice and snug here. So I'll lie down for this one, and I'm just gonna press up against resistance and press down. I'm interested in lengthening my side hip. I'm working my glutes for sure, but also I'm trying to decompress my spine, which is really what Pilates is about. Now, as I do these circles, they're very different from the ones that were on our backs, right? This is about your legs. You should feel your femur bone circling into the hip, getting some nice lubrication in there, but I'm still resisting, right? Trying to feel the work pushing through the band. That's why it's very effective. And I'm going to reverse it. Ideally, I should kind of touch the heel each time as I come back, right? So I know I'm picking all my passengers up from the Ferris wheel and down. And let's call it 4. You know, sometimes this works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. We get somewhere that's effective. Now, my body has been fully lengthened here, but I could do a bit of a hip hinge here to take a little bit of stress off, just as long as you make sure you're not rounding your back. I'm going to lift my leg up to the height of the hip, not let it drop as I come forward. I'm going to flex as I inhale, point as I come back just to the level of my hip. Kick forward, inhale, point coming back. All while using my abdominals and my glutes to work as a team. And back. Works your abductors, your outer hips, and your adductors, your inner hips. Okay, this is a little evil, but I kind of love these. We're going to do hot potatoes. So I'm going to externally rotate, bring the leg down, and lift it back. Notice that my pelvis doesn't shift. Notice that the movement is from the hip, not the ankle, not the knee. That would be too easy. All right, we'll do one more in this direction. Now we're going to internally rotate. Oh my goodness, you feel that. That's not a place we typically work very much, which makes me know we need to do it. And then 2, and lift. Wow, this band is awesome. I'm glad I'm using that today. Okay, so little transition before we go to the other side. Let's get some teaser going. Okay, what is teaser? Well, it builds on a lot of the things we've been working on. And we could use this band here, or we could even use it around the feet to give ourselves a little help. How do we do that? It's basically trying to hold yourself up in that C curve while your legs and arms are up. Okay, so this gives you a sense of how to control that. Lifting up, really feeling the connection between your glutes and your abs. But what would you do if you didn't have the band? Well, you could start out with your feet down, roll it up. Try not to use your hip flexor. You could progress by a single leg teaser, both the inner knees together. Roll up. I kind of think those are a little harder, but not everybody does, so give it a try. Inhale, exhale, curl it up, reach your chest, and then you could progress. Both legs in tabletop. Inhale, exhale. Notice that I'm dragging my glutes under, almost like a whiskey barrel coming off the conveyor belt. Reach up. Oh, that was hard. And then maybe I'll straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Da-da. All right. I think we go this side. All of a sudden, I can't remember which leg position we were in. I think it's here. All right. You end up doing the same side legs. I apologize, but I just had a little brain lapse. Okay, so same thing applies. I'm going to lengthen along the back. I'm going to go long this time, still lifting my waist muscles up, push up against resistance, and press down. I'm going to bring a little bit more of my leg in focus so that you can see. Notice I bent that leg. That's totally an option. But I generally like to have the legs in the same alignment because it helps me think about them working as a team. And I'm going to circle. Inhale and exhale. Precise movement. Touching my passengers, or not touching them, that would be kind of weird, but picking up the passengers. Sometimes my metaphors get mixed. I know you'll give me some grace. And then reverse. I'm lengthening. I want lovely precision here. Inhale, exhale. Feel that stretch all the way through. Oh yeah. Now I am going to hinge slightly toward the diagonal line. Check to see that I've still got my hips stacked. Bring the leg up to the height of the hip. I'm going to kick forward as I flex, point as I go back. I know that I tend to have a little bit of pelvic instability, so I'm taking my hand here to reinforce that I don't want to go as far as I can, which would be here, because you can see that that collapses my pelvis. Not good. I want to go where I can control it. And back. One more time. Kick forward, pull it back. Now, here's my hot potatoes. External rotation in front of the hip and back. So the heel is forward and back. The mover is my side hip. Lift your butt, not your knee or your ankle. Then we're going to internally rotate. Tap it down, lift, return. Tap it down and back. 3 more sets. Love, hate these. They're so effective and they're hard. Okay, so we're going to press up from there. And we're going to do a little bit of work for the arms. So I'm going to sit up tall and just double my band here to work a little bit on my pecs. We get very tight here and round into the shoulders. A great place to do this, just to pull it apart. Well, that's a little tight, so I'm going to go wider here. Oh yeah, because as I'm doing that, I can cinch my waist. So as I'm pulling that apart, I'm tightening my deep low abs and I'm lifting my spine. It's a wonderful exercise here. We'll do 2 more. Good, and then I'm gonna bring my left hand down and I'm gonna press up. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit so you can see that I'm working the triceps. I'm making a strong fist here. Yeah, and I want to fully stretch, or what we call eccentric contraction, and fully concentrically contract or shortened. Otherwise, you don't fully work your muscle. Let's call it 2 more, and down. Up, other side. So press it up, resist, anchoring through that hip, reach, stretch. Good, we'll do 4. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I'm going to work my rhomboids. So I'm going to do this in a way that reinforces the work around the midsection. I'm going to reach out. It's similar to exercises we do on the reformer, serving brownies, offering a lot of these exercises that help you work your mid-back. I call them your extensors, your muscles around the rib cage in the back. They're part of our core. We need to work those. Besides, you feel this like, oh, it's almost like we're in a girdle. Although I'm really glad we don't these days. Press it out and broadening in there. Good. I like to work some biceps. So let's do that from a kneeling position. Got a little tenderness in my knee, and I'm going to bring the band under my right foot. Same idea here. I want to emphasize pulling up, fully straightening, and then drawing it back. Press down on your right foot as you're pulling up. Let's do about 3 more tight abs. Good, and then we'll switch. So now I'm going to bring it with the right foot. Just do a second set because we just really need a lot of arm control. And we'll call it 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So that will pretty much work you in all directions, and I hope you enjoyed that. We'll use the band for some other things. There's so much creativity we can bring in that, but it's a wonderful prop to bring into our Pilates practice. See you next time.